All right, business owners and office managers, this one goes out to you. You're going to want to hang on to the end of this video because I want to make sure that by the time we get done here today, you're going to know how to make sure you're getting the best value out of your IT provider. So it's a little chilly out today. We got Baxter out here going on a walk. Hopefully I got a good shot of him. There we go. Baxter deals with a little bit of anxiety, and so if we happen to come across another dog or something like that, hopefully we'll get an opportunity to show you what that looks like. Because a lot of times business owners and office managers and stuff kind of go through the same thing with their technology a little bit. IT companies like to throw out words like cybersecurity, ransomware, and all that different kind of stuff. And it's all important and it all matters. Cybersecurity is basically just a fancy word to say we want to protect you from the bad people on the internet. Well, Aaron, I'm a small company. We're really not too worried about that. We're not going to get hit with something like that. True story. An IT manager for a small company wanted to buy a surprise trip for her husband. So on her lunch break, went to Travelocity, booked the trip. Hour later, confirmation email comes in. Boom, company's locked down with crypto. No access to their files, nothing. Absolutely shut down, dead in the door. So, at the point you got to ask, how can my company run if I cannot access my files? You just got to realize how important that data is. Because data is more valuable than gold. No, it's not. No, gold's super valuable. I don't know what the price of gold is right now. I'm sure it's some ridiculous amount per ounce. But you take a USB stick that weighs, just a couple grams or whatever it is, that those things weigh. You get that thing locked down with crypto. If you're in a HIPAA-regulated environment, that little $5 USB stick just costs you $150,000. So, hashtag data's more valuable than gold. There's a lot of other things that go into it, like antivirus. Well, we have Malwarebytes, we've got Norton. All right, short interruption in the video. No worries, we're back. So, we were on the topic of antivirus programs. The difference between a managed antivirus platform and just using something like Malwarebytes, Norton, or Microsoft Security Essentials like that yourself is, having the ability to have servers that are managing these applications and making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do, when they're supposed to do it, and how they're supposed to do it. And so, tying that all back to cybersecurity, there's a lot of other factors that go into that is so important for every business. So regardless of what side of the wall you stand on with cryptocurrency, one of the questions that every business owner has to ask themselves now is, are any of my computers on my network doing crypto mining right now? Well, I don't think so. Nobody did anything, but do you know for sure? And you've got to have ways to be able to kind of track that stuff. Firewalls are another huge thing. That Linksys or Netgear router you bought from Best Buy or Walmart or Amazon, if you're a thrifty shopper, it's not going to cover it. Not even close. You need a full unified threat management next generation firewall that is doing intrusion prevention, intrusion detection, that is doing malware scanning, application scanning, port scanning, deep packet inspection, all these fancy words that I can throw at you all day long. But the fancy words aren't what's important. What is important is the value and the safety that they bring to your data that is infinitely worth more than gold. So another big thing, his backups. Managed backups are just absolutely huge. Are the backups happening? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? Are we doing verifications? I'm going to walk out around you. We'll make sure Baxter doesn't scare the poor girl. Are these backups doing what they're supposed to? Are they doing it when they're supposed to be doing it? And have we verified it? Those things matter. Well, we're using Dropbox, we're good to go. Well, what happens then? You get hit with crypto, don't realize it right away. Maybe you go home for the day, Dropbox decides to sync a couple times. Next thing you know, everything on Dropbox now has crypto. Everything has crypto. You do not have your data, your files, that is worth more than gold. All gone, just like that. Paying a ransom is not going to get it back. That definitely does not cut it in this day and age. And so the problem with all of this for the small and medium businesses is wherein this is all too expensive. Firewalls cost, licenses cost, antivirus cost, backup costs. Everything costs. We're a small business. We cannot afford it. Yeah, but there's a trick to all that, though. Over the last decade, we've really seen a lot of IT providers of these types of tools bring them down to a price point where your dentist with 2 assistants can afford it. Or maybe you're an insurance agency selling insurance. Getting jacked. Boom, boom, boom. So we've got both a leash and a fence between Baxter and that other dog. Voila, anxiety that we talked about. And again, there's a lot of business owners that have that same type of anxiety, duck the trees, when it comes to technology, IT services, and all that kind of stuff. Because again, you want to be protected, you want to do what you need to do, but daggone it, Aaron, I just cannot afford it. Well, the way the landscape is nowadays, really, these services can be delivered for less than $100 a month per employee. Depending on your infrastructure, your needs, the vertical you're in. Obviously, if you're in the financial sector or HIPAA regulated sectors, anytime you involve compliance, the costs go up a little bit. But for the most part, though, for just a very small amount per month, you should be able to have your provider that's giving you managed antivirus, managed backups, tools that are automating remediation of issues on the PCs, and cybersecurity tools that are aiding the backups and things like that. You should be able to get all of this for less than $100 a month per employee. So, as promised, getting to the end of the video. So, Aaron, how can I ensure that I am getting the most value from my IT provider? And the answer is simple. Figure out how many employees you have, find out what you're paying, kind of do the math, and then ask for this cost. Am I getting managed antivirus, managed backups? Am I getting cybersecurity software that is aiding the firewall and the antivirus that is a complete separate program that is making sure the network is safe? And do I have a proper business class firewall that has full unified threat management, next generation, and all that kind of stuff? And if you kind of look at what you're paying and you say, well, Aaron, I'm not getting all that stuff. We're paying, I don't know, we'll just say $75 a month per employee, but we really don't have all that kind of stuff. And it's time to question the value. Am I getting the value that I should be getting for the price that I'm paying? And so that little formula will kind of help you out to make sure that you are getting everything you need so that you, as the business owner or the office manager, about to cross Major Street here, make sure Baxter doesn't get hit, you can make sure that data that you have, that is far more valuable than gold, by a ridiculous amount more valuable than gold, is safe, secure. And if you get hit with ransomware, CryptoWall, CryptoLocker, all the fancy names for those things nowadays, that you can quickly recover from it. How quickly? Usually not too long. If you find a engineer that's kind of been through the ransomware treadmill a couple different times, as long as all these best practices for that $100 less a month per employee are followed, you should be able to come out. Number one, you shouldn't get hit. Hopefully your IT provider is also providing security training to your employees. Yeah, you better expect that. And you can recover from these things sometimes just an hour or two. If you're a bigger business, more data, more machines, the sanitation of the machine takes a little bit longer now. But, number one, you shouldn't get hit. Number two, if you do, though, you gotta have a way out of it. And that's what best practices are all about. So again, just to recap, Aaron, I just spent all this time watching this video with you. Why did I do it? What did I get out of it? And that is, if you figure out what you're paying your IT provider a month, divide that by the number of employees that you have. Number one, if it's over 100, it's kind of maybe time to start questioning some things. But it could also be legit. You might be, again, in a highly regulated environment. It requires extra costs to, not be shelling out these hundreds of thousands of dollars of fines per penalty. And, take all these things that I said that you should be getting for that price per month per employee. And if you're not getting that, including the training for your employees, so that way they know how to be responsible internet surfers. It's time to question that relationship with that IT provider. So why would I take all this time to make a video like this? Why would I kind of give you some of the tricks of the trades and show you some of the aces I already have up my sleeve? Is obviously I want an opportunity to do business with you. And so if you run through this formula and you look all this and you're like, well, Aaron, there just might not be a chance that I'm getting everything that you said I should get for the price that you said I should get it at. Then you call me, you email me, you text me, Uber over, drive over, something, and we will talk. And I would even be willing to come into your network, to your environment, your office, and do a network discovery. Here's the catch. How much is it going to cost? Absolutely nothing. I will come in and do a complete assessment on your network for absolutely nothing other than an hour of your time, once all the results are done, to go over with what I found, what I think you should do to address what I found, and what it would cost to do business with me. So do the math, do an inventory of what you're getting for what you're paying. And if you don't think the value's there, you know who to call. So I'll make sure it is.